Hi guys, sorry I started a live a second ago and my connection went bad, so hopefully this one's a little better. I was sharing the most important lesson I've learned from breaking my arm, and I think it'll be applicable to you as well. So I'll start with how this lesson was literally pounded into my head. So I was getting ready to take my kids to the park. This was Saturday, and the day had been a little bit rough. I had been trying to do laundry with one arm, and in the process, I kind of had to put the hangers in my teeth a little bit and put the sleeves over the hangers, and I kind of tweaked my neck a little, but it felt fine. It was okay. But then later on, I decided to go curl my hair, and because I was taking them to the park, and it was really bad. So I had the straightener, and I'm kind of obviously with a different arm because this one I wasn't using this arm, but I was kind of twisting it in a weird way, I guess, and it totally just this pain shot down my back, and I couldn't move my neck. So I'm sitting there and trying to stretch it, trying to figure out a way to move it, and it was hurting. But I was determined to get out. I knew I needed to get out of the house because I was feeling a little down, and I need to be outside when I'm feeling that way. So I got the kids, and I'm like, hey, we're going to the park, and it was just my two little ones. Nobody else really wanted to go, and I ran upstairs to get their shoes, and as I was going across the laundry room, there was a big plastic bin lid on the floor, and somehow I didn't have my shoes on all the way because that's kind of hard to do with one hand as well, and I was kind of rushing. So I stepped on the lid with one foot, and somehow my other foot caught the back of it, and I totally tripped and fell flat on my arms and I guess on my knees because I could feel my knees throbbing as well. And of course the pain on my broken arm just was pounding. It was hurting so bad. And I kind of laid there, and luckily my face landed in a little bit of a laundry pile. So I'm kind of laying there, and I'm crying a little. And my poor little kids come up, and they're like, Mom, are you okay? And my little girl starts crying with me and rubbing my back. And I'm trying to let them know I'm okay, but my voice is kind of strained. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be okay. And so they're both sitting there hugging me. And then the thought came to my mind, you need to learn to ask for help. And I realized it was so true. I just so hate asking for help, and I've really struggled with it. And part of it is making me go into a little bit of a pity party because I wish that people would notice when I needed help, and step up and say, oh, you look like you're struggling with that. Let me help you. And instead of asking. And so, and I realized this applied to a lot of areas in my life. It wasn't just about right then or with laundry or whatever else. It was about when asking help of God when I'm feeling off, making sure that I'm turning to Him and not just trying to do things on my own. We talked in our discussion last night, for those who were able to make it, who did their Challenge 1 tasks, about how we can, that our goals are not our destination. And sometimes we treat them that way, and that's why checklists can be so damaging to us, is because we treat our goals as what we're trying to get to, and that's not the case. Our goals are just tools, and if they're not serving us to help us grow closer to God, then we discard them and we find new tools. But if we start to use them as tools to help us grow closer to God, then they can be beneficial, as long as we remember that's what they are, and we don't use them to beat ourselves up. So the way we kind of talked about doing that is to just remember to find ways and to make our goals about turning to Him and to remind us to turn to Him. And that's what I do in the program. That's what the program is for, to be honest, is to put systems and frameworks in our life that turn us back to God, and that help us remember who we are and who He is, and that we're not alone, and that we can turn to Him at any moment, and just constant reminders through our day, making up systems that help us do that. And so that little thought was put into my mind. Just you need to remember to ask for help in all of those ways. The other way is, of course, my kids, when our kids serve us, they love us more, right? We know that when we serve others, we grow to love them. And if we ask our kids for help more often, they're going to appreciate us more. And I just sometimes I'm so bad about not wanting to inconvenience people and and I'm sure part of it's pride. I don't want to ask, but I really hate taking people's time and things like that. But I'm glad I remember that it's really good for my kids when they're able to help me. And I see it in their faces, like when I say, hey, can you cut this line for me? And they can come up and help me, and they feel good, and I've got to just do that more. And so I think as moms in general, we need to remember to do that a little more. And then also, part of it is too with this work here, with this warrior journey work that I'm doing. I know that I can't do it by myself, and I've felt that for a while now, that I need to be asking for more help. I really believe in this idea that our education is lacking in a lot of ways because we are taking out what's most important, and we're focusing a lot on checking off the list of the things that everyone, the government or whatever, everybody else thinks we're supposed to know, and not really focusing on what is my work here on the earth and how can I accomplish it, and what are the talents I need to be working on to be able to do it well, and really how can I learn to love people more. I think that's the underlying learning to love people is really what an education is for, and we do that through history and through art and through all sorts of different ways, but learning to love God and learning to love people is what we need to be focused on, and we lack that a lot. And so I have all of these different ideas and different ways that I want to be able to accomplish that, and this Warrior Journey program is one. As we moms learn to do that, then we can start passing that down to our families and children, and teaching it as mentors and different things. And then I'm also, several of you know that I'm trying to start an educational program at the Ropes course next year that has this program ingrained in it, so our kids start to learn it. I'm doing it this year in a small scale where it's just like a 2-hour class, but I want to do something bigger next year, and so I'm going to need help for that. So I guess I'm just telling you guys now, like, if any of you feel a little call or a little bit of a, hey, maybe I can help with this, please let me know, because like I said, I'm terrible about asking for help, and I don't know, all of your different talents and different things that you're doing, and I know you're all busy. We're all moms, but if everybody does maybe a little bit, I think I need help getting the message out would be great. If any of you are into Pinterest or Instagram or things like that, just little things. And then, I don't know, your talents. If you have any little promptings of what you can do, I would love some help. And I guess I just feel like if I say that, maybe those of you who feel a little bit like, hey, I could help with this, will reach out and think of ways that you can also help in this cause, because I think it's important. And those of you who are here, I believe you think so too. So I'm letting you know that. And like I said, remember, we're not supposed to do this alone. We're supposed to do this together with one another, with God, and that's what this life is for. It's not to push through on our own and to try to figure things out on our own. So, thanks, Angie. I hope you're doing well. And hi, Evelyn. I see that I don't know who else is watching, but I see both of you. So, hi, it's good to see you. I was just about to close.